Hurricane Ida leaves a trail of destruction. Now, the search for survivors begins.
There's somebody in there, I think.
As we get a sense of just how much damage was done. Not even hospitals escaping the storm's wrath. And these images, so familiar to Houston, have us scrambling to help our neighbors to the east. A special edition of the 411 starts right now. We begin the 411 with the aftermath of Ida. New images coming out of the area, including Slidell, Louisiana, where this drone video shows the devastation left behind. And new video coming in showing a downed transmission line. This is at Jefferson Parish in Avondale, Louisiana, near the Mississippi River. Now, many emergency crews having a hard time getting to some of these areas, the storm being blamed for at least one death.
And take a look at this. 1 minute, this electrical tower in Jefferson Parish is standing. The next, it's gone. The transmission tower collapsed during Ida. The tower provides power for New Orleans and the east bank of the parish, which are all still mostly without power, and it could be weeks before it's restored. Right now, more than 800,000 Entergy customers are without power, and several Entergy crews from the Texas town of Orange are en route to Louisiana to help out. Hey, thanks for joining us on the 411. I'm Ron Trevino.
And I'm Rekha Motoraj. We have got a lot to tell you about this afternoon. First, live team coverage spread out throughout Houston and Louisiana with a look at the aftermath, rescue efforts, evacuations, and ways to help.
Damage to buildings is clearly visible in New Orleans this afternoon. Collapsed walls left bricks and debris on the ground and exposed interiors of buildings at several sites across that city. In some cases, roofs were missing or buildings were reduced to rubble.
Our Xavier Walton has been in New Orleans for the past few days. Xavier, what are things looking like right now?
So right now we are right across from the Mississippi River in front of one of the most iconic buildings in all of New Orleans. But walk with me this way, because this is what people are coming to take a look at and take pictures of. You see all the debris here, and then you see the tree limbs that fell off. Across from us, that's Cafe Du Monde. Nope, people not coming to take those pictures. Actually, what they're coming to take pictures of, look at this right here. You see that? People are coming to take pictures of this massive tree splintered yesterday from Hurricane Ida. That's how strong the storm was. The Cat 4 hurricane was. Now in the French Quarter, a lot of debris. You see buildings messed up, but also you see rooftops ripped off as well. Some trees falling on top of cars. Keep in mind this too, power is still out to the entire city of New Orleans. It's in the 80s today, but coming up tonight at 5, I have a sweet story about a woman who is trying to help hundreds. Stay cool. That story coming up tonight at 5. In New Orleans, Xavier Walton, I'll send it back to you.
And this is a scene that keeps playing out in Louisiana. High water spots making it difficult for first responders to get to people. This is before and after security footage of the high water from a fire station in Delacroix, Louisiana. That's about an hour southeast of New Orleans. Our Adam Bennett joins us on the phone now. He's on the way to meet up with the Cajun Navy, who are based in Lafayette and who are helping with rescue efforts. Adam, how many rescues have they done so far?
So, Rekha, I just got off the phone with the founder of Cajun Navy Ground Force. They have actually moved on to a town called Houma, which is about 20 miles or so from the coast. And because it really didn't flood there, they're really dealing with very, very heavy wind damage. So he told me at this point they're actually not doing any rescues. Their primary goal right now is to clear the road and also to clear trees off of people's homes. And in fact, it sounds like you're listening to some of the video that they just posted on Facebook. This is a Facebook Live video from the parking lot at the Walmart on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in town in Houma. And that is where they've set up what the founder, Rob Godet, is describing as kind of a mobile MASH type unit. It's a place where people in town can go to get food. They can get water. They actually just had some pallets of water delivered. They can go and get supplies. And he said so far they've actually helped about 60 to 70 people. There's several cars in line when we were on the phone, and he said they're really just getting started. There's a lot of need in that town. He told me there is really, really bad wind damage. There's also no running water. So they plan to be there at least for the next few days. He was thinking about 3 or 4, but they'll be there really as long as they're needed. Again, their primary goal is to clear some of the roads and trees and just kind of help people get as back to normal as they can in the short term. And they're thinking they're going to have about 200 or so volunteers. And actually, he told me they already have several volunteers that have come from Houston. Take a listen to what he had to say.
Melanie just drove in from Houston, and actually one of my team members is there picking up a communication system right now that was donated to us. So Houston is really an important part of what we do. We actually were stationed with Mattress Mac during the ice storm for 10 days and helped him distribute supplies and water and so many other food items and so many things in that community.
This is a group that has a long history of helping Houston. The founder told me they did more than 4,000 rescues during Hurricane Harvey. And he told me that, as you heard right there, they helped recently during the ice storm. So he told me they are still looking for volunteers. This would, again, be people to come down to Houma. He said you can go to crowdrelief.net to sign up. But we are on our way to Houma right now. We just crossed over the Louisiana state line maybe 15, 20 minutes ago. Not quite to Lake Charles yet. There's actually pretty heavy traffic here. But we will continue to keep you guys updated throughout the afternoon and on social media on our progress. Back to you.
All right, Adam, thank you so much. Be careful out there. Let's get over now to Tim Pandages. Tim, where is Ida right now?
Thankfully the storm has lifted north, and the 4 o'clock advisory does take it down to a tropical depression with winds now of 35. You think about 24 hours ago, it was still a Cat 4 with 140-mile-an-hour winds. It has dropped 105 miles off of those sustained winds. Still a rather large system, and there's plenty of rainfall still associated with it, but all of that is now north of New Orleans and southeastern Louisiana. Some sun breaking on out there, giving them a chance to start to recover. There's the rainfall in central Mississippi, a lot of it too, and that's going to be spreading its way north as that tracks off to the northeast rather quickly over the coming days, but this will overspread most of the mid-Atlantic and the Carolinas with some pretty good rainfall. In fact, look at these flash flood watches extending from the Gulf Coast all the way up into southern portions of New England, with rainfall amounts anywhere from 3 to 6 to 7, 8 inches, especially on the east or the western side of the mountains of the Appalachians as it tracks off to the northeast. Now into Louisiana, we've had plenty of rainfall there. Some of these numbers up and over 6 to 12 inches. Now each storm is unique. Coming up in just a little bit, David Paul and I are going to talk about why Ida will be remembered for more than just the damage it left behind.